Ever wonder why the goals we set with so much excitement often don't materialize? The truth is simple: we lack discipline. But here's the good news. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build with smart, consistent strategies. In this video, you'll discover 6 proven techniques to develop discipline in a practical and sustainable way, even with a hectic schedule. Get ready to turn your intentions into real action. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on powerful content like this. Implementation intention. We all know how hard it can be to make the right decision in the moment. That's where the implementation intention strategy comes in. It removes the mental struggle by planning when, where, and how you'll do something. The decision is made ahead of time, so you're not relying on willpower. It's like setting an alarm. When it goes off, you already know what to do. That clarity reduces the friction between intention and behavior. When there's no room for doubt, your brain goes into autopilot, saving energy for more important tasks of the day. Research shows people are up to 3 times more likely to follow through when they make this kind of plan. Studies from University College London found that having a clear execution plan activates brain areas tied to commitment and action. It reduces decision fatigue, the mental drain that makes it harder to choose wisely as the day goes on. Fewer decisions mean more mental energy to solve complex problems and stay productive. That's why top performers and elite athletes follow structured, predictable routines. Example, I'll meditate for 5 minutes at 7 a.m. in my bedroom, right after brushing my teeth. The action is linked to an existing habit, which boosts your chance of success. Another example, I'll study English for 15 minutes at the dining table at 7 p.m. after dinner. It's specific, easy to remember, and hard to ignore. These anchors make new habits more stable because your brain connects a new behavior to a familiar trigger. Over time, the action becomes automatic, and that's exactly what we want when building discipline. Now that the decision is made in advance, let's look at how to move into action instantly. No hesitation. Because even with a great plan, getting started can still be hard. That's where the next method shines. The biggest obstacle isn't always a lack of planning. It's the struggle to take that first step. That's why you need a trigger for action. The 5-4-3-2-1 method. Created by Mel Robbins, this method uses a countdown to kickstart action. It disrupts the procrastination loop, where your mind comes up with reasons not to do something. Instead of overthinking, you just act. Think of it like jumping out of a plane with a parachute. You don't overanalyze, you just leap. This pattern stops the excuse cycle before it even begins. When you feel hesitation, count in your head, 5-4-3-2-1. Go! The key is not thinking past the countdown. The goal is to activate your action mode before doubt creeps in. It's especially useful for things like waking up early, starting tough tasks, or facing difficult conversations. This method activates your brain's prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and impulse control. In other words, you take control before emotions take over. Procrastinating on studying? Don't think. Just count and open the book. It's like jumping into a cold pool before fear stops you. Robbins shares countless stories of people using this method to break inertia and form new habits. From getting off the couch to quitting toxic jobs. Its power lies in simplicity. Anyone can do it anytime. And with repetition, your brain learns to act faster and resist less. Once you're in motion, it's essential to see your progress. That's where visual tracking comes in, because what isn't seen is often forgotten, and the brain loves visible progress. Seeing your growth, even in small steps, creates a sense of forward momentum. And when we feel progress, we're more likely to keep going. Visual progress tracking. Visually marking your progress strengthens habits and keeps motivation high. It's like watching the score in a game. You stay more engaged when you see results. Just crossing off a day with an X on a calendar gives a daily sense of accomplishment, even with small wins. This visual feedback creates a positive reinforcement loop. Each X tells your brain, you're doing the right thing, reinforcing the habit. Jerry Seinfeld's Don't Break the Chain method shows how a visible streak helps you stay committed. Seeing daily progress builds consistency. Studies on habit formation show that our brains love patterns and naturally want to keep them going. Even when motivation dips, a visible chain reminds you how far you've come. It taps into a powerful psychological force, loss aversion, the fear of breaking what you've built. Use a wall calendar, an app like Abitica, or even a simple Excel sheet. The key is to see your effort adding up. It triggers dopamine and boosts your confidence. Plus, visual tracking helps you spot patterns. When you tend to skip, what times work best? Over time, it becomes applied self-awareness. But here's a warning. Too much discipline can backfire, especially if you announce your goals to everyone. As strange as it sounds, oversharing can hurt your chances of success. Now, let's look at why strategic silence can be one of discipline's greatest tools. Silent success. Sharing your goals can give you premature satisfaction, a dopamine hit that steals your drive to act. When you say, "I'm going to start running every day," your brain feels rewarded, even if you haven't done anything yet. It's like celebrating a goal before the game even starts. That early pleasure tricks your brain into thinking the job's done, draining your motivation for real results. Keeping your goals to yourself avoids that pre-reward that kills momentum. NYU psychologist Peter Gollwitzer found that people who announce their intentions too early are less likely to follow through. Early exposure creates a false identity. You feel like you've already achieved something you haven't, and that weakens your drive to actually do it. It's like wearing the medal before running the race. You start identifying with success, but lose the push to earn it. Silent discipline works better because it keeps your focus on action, not appearance. Instead, share your goals only with someone you trust, a mentor, accountability partner, or supportive friend. These people help keep you on track without creating pressure or false validation. Real success is quiet, and results speak louder than declarations. When you share with the right people, you open the door to honest feedback and real encouragement, the kind of support that lifts you up, not holds you back. Now, let's talk about how small your first step should be, because starting tiny isn't weakness, it's strategy. In fact, it's one of the smartest paths to long-term discipline and consistency. Start ridiculously small. Big changes start with tiny actions. That's the secret. One common mistake is trying to change everything at once, which leads to burnout and giving up. The key is daily micro-commitments that build confidence. These small steps compound over time, creating massive impact. Even if you start with almost nothing, half the psychological resistance happens at the beginning. So small steps help you overcome that initial hurdle. Stanford professor B.J. Fogg developed the Tiny Habits method, which shows that starting small boosts habit retention by 80%. The trick is not thinking, "This is too little to matter," because it does matter. What counts is building the behavior, not the result. Once the habit is established, scaling up becomes much easier. Meditating for 2 minutes can grow into 20. Writing 50 words a day can become a book. Walking for 5 minutes can evolve into a full workout routine. Tiny habits remove perfectionism and fear of failure, the biggest blockers to action. Consistency builds identity. You start to see yourself as someone disciplined. The goal isn't intensity, it's consistency. And consistency shapes character. It rewires your behavior, strengthens your confidence, and proves to yourself that you can follow through. And finally, let's reframe how we see discipline. It's not punishment, it's self-care. That shift changes everything. Seeing discipline as an act of love makes the process lighter, more human, and far more effective. Reframing discipline as self-care. We often treat discipline like deprivation, but it should be seen as self-care. This changes the whole tone, from something painful to something rewarding. It's the difference between "I have to save money" and "I want to secure my future." Discipline, with this mindset, becomes a way to protect yourself, your mental, physical, and financial health long-term. By switching "I have to" into "I want to take care of myself," you create intrinsic motivation that reduces emotional resistance and activates your inner reward system. Psychologists call this motivational autonomy. Doing things because they make sense to you, not because someone else says you should. This kind of motivation lasts longer and stands strong through challenges because it comes from within, not from outside validation or fleeting willpower. Exercise equals taking care of the body that carries you through life. Saving money equals protecting your family's future and giving yourself freedom. Reading daily equals feeding your mind and unlocking opportunities. These actions take on new meaning when you realize you're not denying yourself. You're preparing for a fuller, freer life. When discipline becomes self-love, it lasts longer and feels better. You don't feel punished for doing what's right. You feel empowered. And that is the foundation of discipline that truly changes lives. Today, you'll learn 6 practical strategies to build discipline the smart and sustainable way. Simple yet science-backed techniques that can shift how you act, think, and build habits. Discipline is preparing for your future with intention, consistency, and self-compassion. Start small, stay quiet, and be clear with your goals, and watch your life transform one day at a time. Your financial freedom journey starts now. Click the link in the video description to unlock the ebook packed with investing secrets, mindset shifts, and wealth-building strategies.